trois, c'est, tout neuf.
So now you finished being French.
That's actually a song in Hamilton.
Oh, okay. That ties in nicely for why we're here today.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favour, please, Kasey, and explain the entire plot of Hamilton to me?
Entire plot of Hamilton.
In a kind of disjointed, fast, and hard to understand
really
way.
not a historically accurate kind of way.
No, just like randomly ramble at me, if that's
So
alright.
basically, we're in the olden times, 1700s, I think it is.
The olden times.
Correct me if I'm
Good
wrong.
start.
Olden times. And let me think about how the song works. There's a so there's a bastard, bastard orphan son of a whore and an immigrant.
Right.
So these are all words of songs. It's not just me. I didn't just create that in my mind. So Alexander Hamilton, he's a baba, or I don't even know what age he is, and his dad breaks up with his mum and he leaves away, so he has no father. That's why he's an orphan. But he's also an orphan because a few years later, or maybe I don't know the timeline, his mum gets really ill and he gets really ill because they're living in like Swallow and they're sitting in their own piss and shit and sick and the scent's thick. And Alexander got better while his mother went quick. These are all lyrics.
Yeah, I got them from the rhyming part of it.
Yeah, so his mum's dead. And then he moves in with his cousin. His cousin committed suicide. Yeah. Which is great. That's also a lyric.
That's not great. That's terrible.
So he's really sad about that. Very loud in here. He's very sad about that and sad times. So he like gets his voice in his head. I don't think it was an actual voice, but it says, "Alex, you've got to fend for yourself now." So he starts like writing and getting his education, and then he moves. He's like an English boy. I think he's an English boy, and he moves to America, which is fun. Or the other way around. I don't really know. No, he definitely moves to America. He moves to New York. Okay. Here, he's 19 years old when he moves to America, and he meets Aaron Burr. So that depends who's asking, because that's a rhyme, that's a lyric. And he says, "I want to be like you." And I just kind of got out of sorts with a buddy of yours. He called me stupid. I'm not stupid. And he handles the financials. And he's like, "You punch the bursar," which is the guy who handles the financials. And he's like, "Yes!" The Burr is the person who handles the financials. Oh, the bursar. The bursar. The bursar. Yes. Not the bursar. Not the bursar. Not the bursar. This is what really confused me when I read the lyrics. I was like, okay, well, bursar. That's a different person. Barsr. I think so. But he handles the financials, and Hamilton punched him. That's all you need to know. He's not a main character. And then he's like, "I want to be like you," and Burr's like, "Let me give you a piece of advice if you want to get through, like, to where you want to go, presidency, and like being a big man and making a stand. You need to talk less, smile more. Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for." Okay. And Hamilton's like, "What the fuck? Like, this isn't what I came here for. I want to be loud. I want to tell people what is right and what is wrong." Here, I think America was colonised by Britain, so obviously Britain was over. It's King George is obviously overruled, so Hamilton wanted to stop that. He wanted America to be independent, and England to fuck off, basically. Obviously. And Aaron Burr's like, "Oh no, well whatever." So cut to the next scene. They walk through, obviously musical, so it's a good like transition. And he's like, "There's a not sure for." You must be kidding. You want to get ahead. Fools who run their mouth off wind up dead. We walk into a pub, and here is Hamilton's best friends. Not yet, they haven't met. So it's Hercules Mulligan, Lafayette. I really hope I'm saying it's like Lafayette. It's rough, like he's French. Okay. And he's like an amazing character with Sam. So Mr. French. Mr. French guy, which is. And then another guy, which I never really, it wasn't a big thing, his name. Obviously it was a big thing, but it's gone from me. And another guy who is amazing. We stand that guy. So other guy, French guy, Hercules Mulligan. Hercules Mulligan is the best. But, so they're all like doing pub things and talking about the revolution and the rapping and this musical is amazing. They're just rapping about the revolution and how they want to be free. And then, so they were like, "Aaron Burr's bits of knowledge," and he's like, "If you get hurt, you'll be dead." And then Hamilton, not knowing any of these dudes except from Aaron, which he hasn't really talked to, says, "If you stand for nothing, Burr, what will you fall for?" So basically, what is your point?
Yeah.
And then Hercules, French guy, and other dude are like, oh, yo. This is in the French accent, and this becomes a whole song. And Hamilton's like, I'm not throwing away my shot. This is my shot to become a person in life so people can remember me. And then he's like, that's a whole song. And they're like, this dude is good, we need to get him up, hi child, we need to get him up on pillars and like talking to people, hi child. So there's a whole scene where he's stood on a box and he's talking to everybody, and he's saying stuff like, we need to like do this and do this and do this, and they're like, oh okay, cool. This is where my timeline gets a bit fidgety, so mind me if I get bad at talking. What I'm going to go on to next might not be where it actually finishes, but we're in a town now, and Aaron Burr's like, Hamilton's good at writing, but you know, we're reliable with the ladies. So they're doing lady things. Okay. And in walks the Schuyler sisters, Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. The Schuyler sisters, so they walk in. Big deal because Angelica is all about women's rights. Yeah. And she's like, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, and when something, I want to introduce women in the sequels, obviously. Okay. She's a feminist. Yeah. And we stand.
Feminist.
So then, like, that's cool. And really, a war's going on. Mm-hmm. So then, so they're going to start a war, basically. Mm-hmm. And this Englishman comes in, and it's like a message from the king. The king's sending a message, and there's like, heed not these rebels who scream revolution, they don't have your I turned into Welsh, but they don't have your interest at heart. Chaos and bloodshed, and so basically he's saying don't revolt. He's from England, so obviously the Hamilton's going to take the piss out of him, obviously, because he's big man boy. So he starts rapping and he's like, this is wrong, we shouldn't revolt, like you treat us like shit, people are being killed, like servants are being killed because it's in the 1700s, so obviously there's still slavery and people are being murdered, so obviously Hamilton won't stand for this. So he's like, yeah, fuck you. And then, no, he's like, no, fuck you. So then we get this amazing, like, big song where it's George Washington. Yeah. And he's like, you'll be back soon, you'll see, you'll remember you belong to me. Uh-huh. So he's basically being very, like, I've got this, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, I will kill you. Oh, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da, 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 you know. So he's not a nice guy.
Clearly.
Clearly
not a nice guy.
So I think I know where I am.
Yeah.
If like,
I'm glad one of us knows.
If somebody watches this and like, this is bull. Like, she doesn't know her timelines. I've only like.
That's okay. I don't think that's not really the point.
In my head, right? And I'm dyslexic, so like, go away.
You've not exactly rehearsed or reading from a script, so I don't think anyone who judges you can go.
Mind,
Anyway, carry on.
Just mind. So I think this is where it comes in with we're reliable with the ladies again. Oh, not again, but Aaron Burr's there, and there's a party, or it's in a pub, and the rebels are like going, what kind of revolt soon? Yeah, sure. So Angelica, Peggy, and Eliza walk in, and other way. Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. That's what I said. This is how my brain works. Angelica, Peggy. Eliza. Okay, so Eliza's there. She walks in, she sees this. Wow, he's like a man that she's just swooned over. Guess who it is? It's Hamilton.
Obviously, it's Hamilton. The film is called Hamilton.
So obviously she is helpless over Hamilton because she looks into his eyes and the sky's the limit.
He's like dreamy and stuff.
Yeah, he's beautiful. Yeah. She doesn't know him yet. Doesn't like know what the package is. If you get with Hamilton, soon they're married. Basically, he asks for the blessing from the dad and. You know, it's all cool. And then it's the wedding day. This is all going through it very fast. It's a whole song. She's helpless over him, basically. She loves him so much. And he's in love with her. But we come to the wedding. This is the wedding scene. Yeah. Angelica's giving her speech. And she's like, yeah. And put your finger there. And that's Hamilton. And she's like, a toast to the groom and then to the bride. from your sister who was always by your side, and then we're like, rewind. So we rewind to the night of the party.
Okay. I can have my finger back.
And she's like, I remember that night, I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. She's in love with Hamilton. They have this whole conversation before Eliza and, you know, Hamilton meet. The thing is, Angelica was the one who introduced Hamilton and Eliza because she realised that Eliza was in love with him. She also realised that her dad doesn't have a son, so her job as the oldest sister is to marry rich, so they can keep the legacy. So she's like, Hamilton's poor. He's 19 now. He won't be 19 now. He's older, but he's still poor, and he just wants to revolt. And she's like, he will never be satisfied. Now I will never be satisfied because I don't have Hamilton. And she really does deeply love Hamilton. So that's the whole thing. And she's like, I'm going to give you Hamilton because I love him, but I know you will love him too. And like, if I told you that I loved him, you would give him to me. You'd say you're fine, but you obviously won't be. And I love you so much that I'm just going to give the love of my life away to you, which is fun. And then that's the end of that. Rewind. Oh, I'm trying to get the message in my head. So then we come back to the boys. So French dude, Hercules Mulligan, and I don't want to say his name Raphael because I feel like I'm being mean and rude because I can't pronounce it right. But, yeah. Lafayette. See, you don't know.
Let's call him Mr. Laugh.
Mr. Laugh. French guy, Hercules, and
Mr. Laugh.
other dude. Not French guy is Mr. Laugh. And
okay.
It's confusing. And they're all like having like, you know, like the good old, you'll never be free again now because, you know, even though you're fighting for freedom, you've got a wife now, so really you won't ever be free. In walks Aaron Burr, and he's like, Hercules, Hamilton's like, oh, I didn't think you were going to come here. And he's like, yeah. And then other guy comes up to her and he's like, it's alright, Burr. You know, I know you've got a girlfriend on the side, and like Hamilton's like, piss off, and goes to her and is like, you should have brought this girl with you tonight, Burr. And then she's like, I know, but it's unlawful, sir. And she was like, what? He's got a husband, and he's in England, and he's English, so obviously it's not. It wouldn't. Well, that's for another day. So he's like, okay, cool. So war starts. The British have cannons in places, and they're obviously doing the big war. We see George Washington. He's coming in. It's a big thing. And he's like, I need a right-hand man for like war stuff. And Burr obviously thinks it's going to be him. He walks up to George Washington and he's like, hi, I've got all these qualifications. I just want to talk to you for a bit. In walks Hamilton and she's like, you called me George Washington? And he's like, yeah, I want you to be my right-hand man, which basically is slapping Aaron Burr's face. This is where it all starts with Aaron Burr and Hamilton. And he's like, I want to be you, right-hand man, now. And he's like, yeah, sure. War. So basically, the generals come in and war's starting. Hamilton steals cannons from the English. He's basically being a badass and he wants to fight. He wants to take charge of like a group of men to go into war. He doesn't choose Hamilton, George Washington, because he needs Hamilton to stay alive. Stay alive, stay alive. And so that's the thing. And then, so he chooses an idiot. I don't really know his name. He's not an idiot, he was just a coward. So all those people are going, go forward, and he's being retreat, go forward, retreat, and he's basically being a coward. And then he starts, George is like, put the French guy up instead of him, because obviously he's retreating, so you're not going to win the war.
Obviously.
And then the guy who kept on retreating is talking smack about George Washington. Obviously Hamilton doesn't like it, but George is giving him first command that he shouldn't do anything about it. See, but other guy, you know, out of the three, French guy, Hercules, and other guy doesn't have to listen to George Washington, so they start a duel between the retreat guy and the other guy. So a duel happens, obviously guns, it's the 10 duel commandments, you know, get people to like try and make peace. So Burr and Alexander Hamilton together, like, Burr's like, obviously duels are stupid. Alexander Hamilton's like, yeah, but he has to like answer for his words, and Burr's like, okay, so we're doing this then. So other guy, we love other guy right now, by the way, even though I can't remember his name, we love him, he's cute, he's amazing, he's a good person. And then, so they're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 is shoot. so other guy shoots retreat guy in the ribs. And Hamilton says, he's abstaining. And Burns like, of course he abstains. He shot him in the rib. And then George comes in on this and he's like, I literally told you not to. And Hamilton's all like, yeah, but it wasn't me. And then they all get angry. And George Washington's like, meet me inside. And then that's the whole meet me inside. Meet me inside. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And then they meet him inside. And George is like, listen, son, and Hamilton's like, I'm not your son. And then George is like, listen, I know, like, it's stressful and shit, but you need to, like, not, maybe. And then he's like, well, fuck you. And then he's like, fuck you, you need to go home.
Yeah.
I'm sending you home, so you can't be in the war anymore. And you can have a lollipop.
Give me a chocolate lollipop.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Child wants a chocolate lollipop.
We'll get my lollipop here.
There's loads of dogs poo.
So, we like send you home, and he goes home. Alexander's gone home. Eliza is pregnant.
Yeah.
This is baby.
Oh, okay.
Eliza's pregnant.
Right, do you know that Arlo's got this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case given.
And then Hamilton's like, well, you should have told me. And she's like, I wrote to the general a month ago. I begged him to send you home. And he's like, you still should have told me. And he's like, and she's like, look around it. Look around. You have everything here. Like, please don't go back. So Raphael has been consoling with the French to help America, so that's the whole thing. So we love Raphael, and then he goes up to George Washington and he's like, I can't do this alone, you've got to get your right hand man back. So George is like, okay, I've got to get my right hand man back. Hamilton comes back and they fight the war.
Yeah.
And they win.
Hey.
Yay! Okay. So the war's won. Obviously, they're in shambles though, because like they need to build this new constitution and their government, because obviously it's different now, because they don't have England.
To make America.
To make America.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, so the whole thing with Aaron Burr and his wife, they had a kid called Theodosia, and that's the whole song. Dear Theodosia, what I'd save you. And then Hamilton comes in and he sings about his son, because obviously Eliza was pregnant, so they're next to each other. Philip, I love you. You'd like blow us all away, and stuff like that. So obviously, we love the children. It's a heartwarming moment. I personally did cry. You don't need to know about that. And then fading the spot on Aaron Burr, it's gone. Aaron Burr's not there. Obviously, he's still alive. It's just a whole setting thing. And then Eliza walks in. He's like, "There's a message, a letter from." Of the guy's father, and it says, on this day of this day, other guy was killed in battle.
Yeah.
We love other guy, even though I know it seems like he's not an important person because I can't remember his name, but he's very important.
Oh, really?
I cried at this because Hamilton's like really sad.
Yeah.
And you know, sad times. Obviously. I can't think straight. Oh, anyway, so he's sad. And then after the war, he went back to New York.
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
He finished all his studies. He practiced law. He practiced law, but Burr worked next door. So obviously they don't not like each other, but there's like things, you know.
Yeah.
Doing stuff.
Animosity.
Yes.
Animosity.
So even though they started at the very same time, Alexander Hamilton began to climb.
Yeah.
Why? Because the man is non-stop. He does not stop writing. He writes and he writes and he writes and he puts all of his ideas through. He talks for 6 hours about he wants to like redo the whole government, which everybody thinks is stupid. Everybody thinks is crazy. They're like, who the F is this? Which is an actual line in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, he's just insane. I think there was a whole part in this song about they got 3 people and they wanted to write 25 essays.
Yeah.
And they wrote like 81. Like, one guy got sick after writing 6. One got sick after writing 20, and Hamilton wrote the rest of them.
Yeah.
Which is about like, God knows, like 56 essays for himself. He wrote that. He didn't stop writing. like his whole thing. So everybody thinks he's insane, and he goes up to Burr, even though obviously they're not nemesises, but like Burr's a bit like, well, why do you get to be so cool but I'm not? And he's like, I want to make a new government. You're such a good lawyer. I need you behind this. Burr's like, no, I'm going to wait for it. And he's like, what are you waiting for? And then the whole song, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Because death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. So he just wants to wait and not take too much from the world. He's waiting, which is cool. I don't know what happens after that. I do know what happens after that, but the pieces are everywhere. So I think this is near Act 2, so we'll just skip to that anyways.
Okay.
So I can't remember his name, but Raphael's gone to France. So the actor who played Raphael played another guy, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh yeah.
And he was he went to France and stuff, and he did his children. He did a whole thing where he was like, the French are cool, we need the French on our side. French are going to war now, so we need to back the French up. Obviously, Hamilton's like, no, I don't want to back the French up. And then there's a whole argument, and George Washington sides with Hamilton. And they're like, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. And that's the whole song. But the thing is, I don't know if this was a while back, I think I missed this part out. Eliza's like, our son is amazing and I want to get away from the summer. In this song you see that Hamilton's been writing messages to Angelica, his sister, saying, oh, I wish he wasn't an ocean away, like I love you so much. He says, my dearest.
Yeah.
Angelica, which means like, not my dearest Angelica, my dearest Angelica. So obviously it's his dearest person.
Okay.
Which Angelica reads into that. So he's like, I'm coming to New York from London. And that's right. That is right. I'm right. And I want you to come away from the summer with us all. And Hamilton's not like, no, I need to get my plan through Congress. I need to get this plan through Congress. And so Angelica, Eliza, and Philip all go to live with his father for the summer. Hamilton's in New York still, doing this little study. Guess who comes in? Mariah Reynolds. Ooh, beautiful. Hamilton's like really stressed. He's like, oh, this Congress thing, it's just blowing me over. I really want my wife, and I'm longing for Angelica, because obviously I think it's better that he cheated on, with Mariah Reynolds rather than his sister. So basically, Mariah Reynolds walks in. She's like, my husband's doing me wrong. I don't have the means to go on. I need you to give me money and loans and stuff because I don't have any money. He's like, yeah, sure. What he doesn't know is Mariah Reynolds wants to do the do with him. So he's like, how can I say no to this? She's so beautiful and I'm longing for my wife. So he does the do with her multiple times. And then his wife, her husband finds out about this. And he's like, I don't know if it was a scheme, but he's like, Hamilton, because you're screwing my wife, I want you to give me money, and then I won't tell anybody. And he's like, he comes up to her and he said, do you know about this? And she's like, I don't know about any letter. And then he's like, just give me money, give him money, and you can help me. And then they do the do again, which is beautiful. So, cut back to, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. So they're trying to get Washington away, so and find information about Hamilton that can dig the dirt on Hamilton, which is cool. It's not cool, but it's cool because Hamilton, I don't like him at this point because obviously he cheated on his wife.
Obviously, it's rude.
Isn't nice. Don't do that.
It's not nice. Don't cheat on your wife.
Don't cheat on your wife. So then Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, and Hercules Mulligan, but it's not Hercules Mulligan, it's different, it's the same person playing Hercules, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They all decide that they're going to try and find dirt on Hamilton. Okay, so we know they've done that, and then George Washington's like, I'm stepping down, I'm not running for president, which obviously puts Hamilton in the dirt, because now he doesn't have anybody to, do stuff with. So, somebody else is running for president, it's not George Washington, everyone's sad. And then Thomas Jefferson walks into Hamilton's study and is like, we have this dirt on you, you've been embezzling government funds, and obviously that's not right. And he's like, you don't have anything on me, this is wrong, unless. And then he's like, yeah, unless we could put this out. He's like, wait, stop. If I can prove that I never broke the law, do you promise not to tell another soul what you saw? And like, nobody else was in the room where it happened. And he's like, okay. He's been taking tracks of how much money he's been putting into this husband's account, and like he's basically word vomits in Miranda's I don't know how to say his name, he word vomits all this information about his affair to these people that he can't trust. So he realises, well, obviously I won't go to jail for this, but still it's my legacy. So he writes the Reynolds pamphlet, which is the whole story of the affair that he had with Miss Mariah Reynolds and what happened with the money, and he publishes it.
Oh.
An idiot. Sorry. Love you. What an idiot. Like, why? Like, obviously, he wanted to do it for himself because his whole life he's wrought his way out of situations.
Yeah.
So he just thought, why not? So obviously his wife cannot find out. Like, his wife cannot not find out about it because it's everywhere. Everybody's reading it. And they're like, the Reynolds pamphlet. Have you read this? So obviously it's been handed out everywhere. Hamilton is ashamed of himself. Angelica comes all the way from London. Damn! All the way from London. And Hamilton's like, oh, I'm so glad there's somebody here that knows what I'm trying to do. And Angelica's like, I'm not here for you. I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. I love my sister more than anything in this life. I will choose her happiness over mine every time. So even though she loves Hamilton, I don't think she would love him anymore. She's still choosing the happiness of her sister.
Yeah.
So she goes up to her sister and she's like, I'm so sorry. Okay, so, cool.
Cool.
There's bits I've missed, but I can't go back on myself anymore. Because, like, a lot of stuff has happened. So Philip is now 19 years old, like his dad was at the start of the play.
Okay.
And he hears somebody talking smack about his dad, because obviously his dad is a cheater.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, sad times. So he goes to the podium, they're at a theatre, and he goes up to the guy who's talking smack and he's like, I want to duel with you. And he's like, okay, whatever, let's have a duel. So he goes up to his dad, Hamilton.
Yeah.
He says, I'm doing a duel. They don't exactly, like, teach about this stuff in school, what do I do? And he's like, aim your pistol in the sky, this will end the whole affair. If he's a man of honour, he won't shoot you. It's bad to have blood on your hands, you don't want that, because it's on your consciousness. And he's like, take my guns. And he's like, yeah, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 dual commandments. So they get a doctor there who turns around for deniability, obviously, because they paid him. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Philip's pistol is in the air. He fires in the air, but the other guy turns around, fires Philip, and rips. Philip goes. So Philip's been shot. Hamilton gets like a call. They don't have phones, so they wouldn't have got a call. But he realises Philip's been shot.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, I've done everything I can, but you have to realise he's been shot in the ribs.
Uh-huh.
So you know, and Philip's like, I did everything just right, and he's like, I know. And then Angelica, Eliza walks in and she's like, oh my god, my son, did you know about this? And this is where they sang that, and deux, trois, c'est, and then he dies and she screams, because obviously it's a kid. She has 8 children, but it's his oldest, so she's like, sad times. So they move uptown, it's quiet uptown, and they're working through the unimaginable. These are all lyrics, this is why I think I'm going to get copy banned. So yeah, it's sad times, and Hamilton's probably upset, but see, there's been elections and Hamilton is still part of America's big Congress people, so they're asking him, who are you going to choose for president? Aaron Burr's running for president, Thomas Jefferson's running for president. Thomas Jefferson is the guy that Hamilton has hated his whole life. Thomas Jefferson has gone like against everything that Hamilton said. So Burr's there and he's like, I want to run for president, will you back me up? And he's like, well, I don't know yet. And Thomas Jefferson's like, we need to get Hamilton on our side. So they stood there and Hamilton's up on the podium and it's a tie, so it's up to Hamilton to say. And he's like, if it was up to me, Thomas Jefferson has my vote.
Yeah.
Instead of Aaron Burr, who was the first like friend he had in like America when he moved. And obviously Aaron Burr's like, he thought he had this in the bag. And then he walks up to Thomas Jefferson. It's like, it's a fair fight. You know, I'm excited to be vice president. And Thomas Jefferson's like, no. You literally ran against me and you think you're going to be vice president. I can change the rules now. So he changed the rules. Aaron Burr's pissed. He's pissed. And he goes up to Hamilton and he's like, there's loads of letters saying, you did this to me just to stop me from being president. Aaron Burr's like really upset. Let's have a duel. You know what the fuck's gonna go down here. So they do 10 dual commandments, boom. So Burr gets the wrong idea. Hamilton's wearing his glasses. And he thinks, why would he be wearing his glasses except to have deadly aim, to fire and shoot and kill?
Yeah.
What he doesn't realise is Hamilton is raising his gun in the air to stop the fight like his son did. What they didn't realise is as well that it's near where Philip died, so Hamilton's going to die where Philip died.
Yeah.
Aaron Burr,
That was just a little bit scary.
he was like, I don't want to make an orphan. Alexander isn't going to make an orphan of my child, so he shoots Alexander in like wherever he shoots him.
In the body.
In the body.
In the body.
And Alexander shoots in the air. We're nearly done anyways. And that's that. And that's basically the end of Alexander's story.
Yeah.
Then we realise who lives, who dies, who tells the story. Eliza tells Hamilton's story. She gets orphanages. She fights against slavery. She tells George Washington's story. She's a saint, basically.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And that's the end.
That's the end.
That's the end.
That's the end. How long is the movie?
2 hours and 30 minutes, I think.
And it takes 31 minutes.
That was half an hour.
That was half an hour.
Holy moly.
How do your lungs feel? Do you think you've got enough oxygen in your body now?
Yeah.
I was worried I thought you were going to pass out a moment there.
It might be historically incorrect, but that is my take on.
Yeah, I mean, there was no, for the sake of the audience at home,
Oh, thank you, Loki.
there was no, you didn't, like, write a script for this.
No, I don't have anything on me
You just went, this is what it is from my brain,
from my brain.
and then you said it all. Honestly, I think if you'd
gestures today.
a lot of hand gestures. I think if you'd have like said it at a normal speaking pace as well, that would have been 3 hours. I think it would have taken as long as the actual movie.
No, but
So I'm very impressed. Well done, Kasey.
Thank you.
Boop.